Hey guys, welcome back. It's Coach Bob, and today we are talking about the double unders. Today's workout featured 300 double unders and a 2-mile run and 100 toes to bar. That is, if you had enough time. I didn't have enough time to get all that done, but I did want to work on my double unders, and I also wanted to have enough time to get that run in. So I focused on those and did those in the first part of the workout today. Today's video is going to focus on the skill of the double under. So stay tuned. We got lots of tips for you. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what CrossFit.com has on their website for the double unders, just to get the points of performance down. And then we're going to look at a video from Cole Sager, and he's going to provide some of his tips. And then I'm going to circle back and go over some of the things that I learned about the double under that helped me as I was starting CrossFit. So stay tuned for that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the what CrossFit.com has for the double unders and go over some of the basic points of performance. We got this sick video of James Hobart with slow motion with the double unders. So you notice that the hands are slightly out in front of the hips. The arms are slightly bent, but mostly I want you to think about them being straight and more so about being relaxed. The elbows are generally close to the body. This helps with the mechanics of the rope, keeping it from clipping your feet. Makes the rope feel a little longer. You jump just high enough for the rope to go under twice, and you're going to be spinning with the wrists to create that spin. So next up, what I want to do is I want to go over, let Cole Sager talk a little bit about the double under and then provide some helpful tips that he has for us today.
Double unders have become increasingly popular. People are wanting to learn how to do them for the CrossFit Open. The general fitness community has taken a hold of them. It's a good tool to have in your fitness arsenal. So with that said, I kind of wanted to talk about some of the things that I've seen when it comes to people doing double unders that I want to identify so we can make sure that we're not doing it when we go to practice ours. First and foremost, people try to force it. They get really tense and really aggressive. So like some aggression levels that people don't have all of a sudden come out when they want to do double unders, and you don't have to force it.
All right, who out there gets tense when they're doing those double unders?
A lot of bad habits. When they're first learning, one of the bad habits that people will practice is doing them with bent elbows. When you're doing them with bent elbows, it's creating poor mechanics that we don't want to practice and we don't want to hone.
Now, when we looked at James Hobart doing it, he did have his elbows slightly bent. And when you look at Cole doing it right there with the bent elbows, you can see he's really kind of tense and keeping his arms kind of locked. And that, I think, is the bigger fault on that.
We want to make sure that we're practicing the correct mechanics all the time. People think that what is going to help them is doing a single under and then a double under, going back to a single under and then trying another double under. But what that creates is poor rhythm and poor timing. Again, it's ingraining a bad habit.
So basically what Cole's saying is that we oftentimes we've got the single under, and what we'll do is we'll try to get a single under, a double under, and try to get some sort of rhythm going. The dilemma then is, once you have that, is how do you then string double unders together? So he wants to provide he's going to be providing some tips on the double under, and he would encourage us to be practicing the double under as a skill in and of itself. So let's skip ahead to where he's going over some of the tips for the double under, and we'll let Cole cover that now.
Make sure your arms are straight. Everything is going to start from the wrist, and you want to have straight arms in order to do that. When I say straight arms, think relaxed arms. Arms that kind of just drop to your side. You're not trying to lock your elbow out, you're relaxed. Second, we want to make sure that our body is streamlined. When we're doing double unders, we want to stand and jump with good posture. Don't become so erect that you tense up, but don't be so relaxed that you're drooped forward. Just think good, smooth posture, as if you're just walking down the street with a smile. Third, one of the other things that is taught in the mechanics of the double under is jumping consistently. Like I mentioned before, when people try to do a single under and a double under, they're practicing bad timing and they're getting inconsistent jumps. Make sure your jumps are the same over and over and over. We're like a metronome when we're doing double unders. My fourth point is to make sure that you're spinning the rope from your wrists and not your shoulders. Too often I hear people talking about how their shoulders are burnt out when they're doing double unders. It shouldn't be that way. Because your arms are straight to your side and relaxed, if you're spinning from your wrist, it should not go all the way up and transfer to your shoulders.
Now, this one's a little tricky because I've tried to think about spinning from my wrist, and the challenge is, how do you get the rope to move fast? And a lot of people don't really cover what's really happening. You know, you do want to use your wrists to spin the rope. And the trick really is going to be to have tension on the rope. And what I found that works out pretty well is when you have that rope in the starting position back behind, it should be stringing across your lower legs or your calf muscles, and you should be able to have some tension on the rope. Now, you don't want tension in your arms, but the tension that we want to have on the rope is so that we can actually create that speed on the rope as we bring it around. So if you just try to like move your wrists in a circle, that rope's not going to go anywhere. You do have to create some tension on it, and that's going to require an initial start on that rope, and then you're going to continue that movement with the wrists.
If anything, your forearm should be burning. My next point, for heaven's sake, do not tuck your knees. This doesn't help. Tucking your knees is gonna throw off the timing of your double under, and it's gonna make it for an inconsistent jump. And not to mention, it is not sustainable and your quads are gonna get extremely tired. One of the other things that will throw off timing is piking your body, where you jump up and your feet come out in front of you and your chest goes forward a little bit. It creates a lot of unnecessary movement, and it is definitely gonna tire you out a lot more than you realize.
So I'm glad that Cole has segued into this a little bit so that we could talk a little bit about, you know, my first attempts at a double under. I mean, definitely wasn't getting it. I was trying to spin the rope very fast. I was getting a lot of welts on my body. My arms were red. You had these big red marks on my arms. And, you know, I just couldn't figure out how to get that rope to kind of get around. What made a big difference for me was I found that I was trying to jump over the rope and try to change the timing of my jumping so that it would match with my rope. And of course, I had not very good control over the rope, and my jumping was all over the place. So what I was able to finally figure out was that you don't jump to the time of the rope. You switch it around. You actually get your rope to meet the time where you're jumping. So you jump your consistent jump, and then you provide that rope to be where you need it to be when you need it to be there. And so the way that I was able to finally get there was to just try to get one double under and to get that rope to be where I need it to be. You can also listen to the rope and you can hear it hit the ground, and that gives you an idea. Is your rope a little bit late, or is your rope a little bit early on hitting the ground when you're trying to get those double unders? And so eventually I was able to string together, I think, 9 double unders and in a workout. And it was just, you know, anytime double under showed up in a workout, I knew it was just going to take me a long time to complete that workout. So obviously, scaling back on the number of repetitions. You know, if a workout had 50 double unders, I might try to do 5 or 3 or something like that. And then just working on the timing, and then eventually learning to really be relaxed and to breathe. That was probably the biggest thing that second biggest thing that I was messing up, was that I would just get so tense that I wouldn't hold my breath, and I wouldn't be able to even perform more than a few repetitions. Eventually, I learned to breathe and to relax, and dare I even say recover while doing the double unders. So I made a quick video today of the double unders that I was doing in the workout. There were 300 double unders in today's workout, and I knew that I could do about 30 double unders without too much trouble. So I broke that 300 down into 10 sets of 30. So let's play a one set of that 30, see how I do, see if I look relaxed. I haven't looked at this video yet, so I don't really know what I'm going to see. Let's take a look. All right, we're getting the countdown here. That was not a double under. I'm thinking about the tension on the rope and what the arms and shoulders and straight arms, and trying to make sure that I get off to a good start. You never really know what you're going to get, in a workout. This is going to be lots of singles and mess ups. The other thing to do is make sure the shoelaces are tied. So I'm double knotting both of them to make sure that they don't become untied in the workout. Now, to me, just looking at it, it looks like I've got some tension in my arms. So definitely, the elbow and the wrist doesn't look as relaxed as Cole Sager did. And you can see I'm also going backwards. That must have been 30. Was that 30? Yeah, I know I was counting 10, 10, and 10 in my head. So let's try another set of 30. I also try to get my heels to kiss the ground as opposed to being on the ball of my foot the whole time. I think that's a movement fault. If you're on the ball of your foot all the time, then you're really going to get a lot of stress on the calf muscles. And you really need to be able to let all those muscles relax, unload, and reload again to get a good bound. If you're on your toes, it works. I think a lot of the competitive athletes are definitely on their toes a lot with the double unders. But my goals are to kind of live long and prosper. So I try to get the movements in a way that aren't going to really create a lot of stress on my body, for sure. All right, so I think we've seen enough of these double unders. And there's quite a bit more. I decided to go get a whiteboard and sort of start keeping score, because I knew I was gonna lose track of where I was. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking in today with today's workout and some of our double under tips. We're looking forward to providing a lot more content, a lot more value for you guys. Take care, have a good day, and peace.